Shirley Muldowney was a drag racer, so she would be right at home at the place News Center Maine's Pearl Small went to today.
It's an old airfield in Winterport, which was converted into a drag racing venue way back in the late 1960s. Now it has a new name and a new owner. Here's Pearl Small.
This is our winner's circle, so we're going to have a whole new sign put up here.
Crystal Lancaster is in full creativity mode. The Fernald Field Dragway has been around for nearly 60 years. But as its new leaseholder, Lancaster is dreaming up a lot of changes. New partnerships, new programs, new events.
I will say that in no way, shape, or form do I ever want to try to rewrite the history here.
Some of that history has a dark side. Previously, the lease was held by the Winterport Dragway Association. In March, the association's president, Shawnee Ori, was convicted of having unlawful sexual contact with a young girl, 14 or 15 at the time. Considering the Dragway attracts dozens of children and families every weekend, the news was hard to hear.
This Dragway doesn't stand for behavior such as that, and that we're better. Bigger and better than that.
Shortly after, the Dragway almost closed completely when the Winterport Dragway Association couldn't agree on a new lease agreement with the town.
I actually told my better half, I said, this is weighing so heavy on my heart, we have to do something.
Lancaster pooled her money together and wrote up her own lease agreement, fueled by the desire to reclaim the track as an exciting and safe space for families, which she believes it was for generations. Craig Cousins remembers when the track was lined with metal spools and scoreboards didn't exist.
And you would make your run and come back and get your ticket and find out if you won or lost.
Technology might have changed, but Cousins is still here. Now he watches his daughter Jen Hopkins and her children, Lena and Alex, race on the same track.
The Dragway has always been about family.
For the Hopkins family, learning that Lancaster would carry on that tradition was a relief.
So excited to see Crystal's name. She's very involved from the beginning, even when the track wasn't in her name.
We'll go down and talk to Crystal, and even if we're racing each other, she finds a way to make it all positive.
What was almost the end has become a new era for Maine's oldest dragway.
My purpose is just to make sure the history continues to be written.
And Lancaster has already made a little bit of that history herself as the first female to ever manage the facility. In Winterport, Pearl Small, News Center, Maine.
That is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool, and good luck to her as she takes up this next adventure. It's pretty awesome.
I love watching drag races where one gets off to a great start, but then you see the like one had the torque and the other's catching up on the horsepower. That's pretty cool.